We can't be sure that we are doing everything right, but we can be sure that the Lord is in charge of every situation and circumstance. So prayer is, in fact, personally, I would say this is the most important tool. Praying concerning every single thing, praying concerning the salvation of your children, praying concerning the... Hi everyone, my name is Olapo. I vlog about lessons from my life as relating to my relationship with the Lord, being a mom, being a wife, and so many other things. So today, I want to talk about what are the important tools that are needed in the journey of godly parenting. The first tool I'll be talking about is intentionality, being intentional. And I made this the first because I feel like this is the foundation of every other tool. This is what will determine if you are going to make use of the other tools or not. It's your intentionality that will determine if you are going to pray for your children. It's your intentionality that will determine if you are going to take them to church. It's your intentionality that will determine if you are going to have a structure or a plan for them, and so many other things. So intentionality is very important. Being intentional, it simply means being deliberate. Being deliberate about your children's spirituality, being deliberate about their spiritual growth, being deliberate about their walk with the Lord. So raising godly children requires a great deal of intentionality. You don't just leave anything to chance. It requires planning. Being deliberate will make you sit down and plan. Plan what are the things that you're supposed to do at every particular point in time, at every season. Being intentional, like I said, is what will make you sit down and seek the face of the Lord concerning what is saying about your children. So being intentional is very important. You have to be intentional. That's the first tool. Being intentional. It's regularly thinking. An intentional parent is a thinking parent. Regularly thinking about what's the next thing to do, what is the next phase, what is the next season. So not just allowing things to go on as it's not just allowing life to drive things, but you being the driver. You being the driver of things, not just allowing situations, circumstances, and the way life is to be the driver of things, but you being the one in charge. That's what intentionality means, and this is very needed in the journey of godly parenting. The second tool I'm going to be talking about is prayers. Prayers. In fact, prayers. I wrote a book recently, 365 Days of Praying for Your Children. I don't have it here right now, but I would ensure that I bring it here with me in the next video that I'll be making. 365 Days of Praying for Your Children covers every aspect of your children's life. I'll talk more about it in another video, I think. So, but prayer is another important tool. Like I wrote in the preface of my book, we can't be sure that we are doing everything right, but we can be sure that the Lord is in charge of every situation and circumstance. So prayer is, in fact, personally, I would say this is the most important tool. Praying concerning every single thing, praying concerning the salvation of your children, praying concerning the future of your children, even things that are yet to happen, things you don't have an idea of whether they are going to happen or not, things, placing your children before the Lord day and night, every single aspect of their life. So prayer is very important. The devil does not want us to raise godly children. The devil does not want our children to turn out right. The devil is against them thriving. The devil is against them knowing the Lord. But we can stand in the place of prayer and bring these ones before the Lord and pray into their destiny, pray into their future. Use the words of our mouth to align their life in accordance with God's word. And the third tool I'm going to be talking about today is example. The tool of example, being an example. This is also very important. Honestly, it's quite challenging to to arrange them in order of importance. That's just the truth. Because as soon as I start to speak on one tool, then I realize that this is a very important tool. Being an example. When it comes to godly parenting, it's not about do what I say. It's about do what I do. So you have to be an example of a godly parent yourself. Be an example of godliness. Be an example of righteousness. Be what you want your children to be. Okay, so being an example. Do you want your children to pray? Do you want your children to read the scriptures? Do you want your children to evangelize? Do you want your children to intercede? You want your children to love the Lord, you have to be an example to them. You have to be a living example. They have to see it. They have to see. You have to be that living Bible to them. So they have to see everything. It makes sense that way. Then they know that this is real. This is not just audio. This is not just about doing something that you have not practiced yourself. So being an example is very important. The third tool I'm going to be talking about is the tool of resources. Resources. In the journey of godly parenting, you need resources. You need resources. And the funniest thing is that resources are available. You know what? God is very particular about the family mountain. God is interested in us raising godly children. And one thing I've realized recently is the fact that God has been calling so many people into that mountain of influence. He has been raising so many people, giving people ideas, giving people, putting things in the hearts of people to create resources, to aid family generally, to aid children's spiritual growth. So parents are not alone. This is not just something, an assignment that you are doing alone. It's an assignment that you are doing with the host of heaven, who has also committed this assignment into so many other people. And so there are resources available. It's just to know where and how to get them. So you need resources in the journey of raising godly children, and resources are online. Thank God for social media nowadays. Thank God for websites. Thank God for applications. So there are resources. There are resources online. Thank God for books. Thank God for authors. Thank God for children book authors. There are books, there are applications, there are websites, there are videos, there are resources. I tell you, there are resources. Personally as well, I produce resources for children's spiritual growth. I'll drop the link to my store in the description box. But much more than that, there are resources available. Honestly, the Lord has not left us alone as parents. The Lord is supporting us. He has supported us and He's still supporting us regularly. No, a dear sister of mine wrote some like 2 children books recently, and it's just amazing to me how that people keep on writing children books and different stories, different amazing stories. Like there are no clashes in the stories, different inspiration. That's how diverse the Spirit of God is. And just to let you know that we need resources in the journey of godly parenting, and these resources are available, and I'm sure there are still more to come. So we are not alone at all. And another tool I'm going to talk about is the tool of church. The church. The church is very important as well in the journey of godly parenting. One important thing I always say is that the church is not alone, which is true. I love church. I'm a church goer. I'm a church volunteer. I'm a church staff. I love church, and I'm a church children teacher myself. But the church is not alone. But as much as the church is not alone in the journey of godly parenting, the church is also very important. Supports the church supports us as parents in our journey of godly parenting, and then the church also it's a gathering of believers. It's a place where we get support as parents ourselves for our own personal walk with the Lord and for our own spiritual growth. So the church is also important, and the church is something that also makes our children, it makes them know that this family is a family of God. It's just it just makes everything make sense to them when we go to church, and it makes them know that this is not a family thing. This is a kingdom thing. This is not about my family. This is not just about mom and dad. It's not just mom and dad trying to push me into something, or trying to just introduce something that is not real, that does not exist. But being in church makes them know that this is beyond us. This is beyond my family. This is global. This is kingdom. This is international. This is kingdom. It emphasizes that to them. So church is very important. And then finally, the sixth tool I'm talking about is the tool of persistence. Godly parenting is not something that you do today and then tomorrow you are tired. No, you have to be persistent. You don't give up. There will be days of challenges. There will be days when your plans do not go out as you have planned. But you don't give up. You keep at it. It's not a 1 day thing. It's not a 2 days thing. It's not a 3 days thing. It's something that you keep at. You continue to do. You keep at it. You do not give up. Every now and then you trust the Lord. What is on again for this season? It's season by season, it's stage by stage. So you pass some season and then you move to another season. So you have to be persistent. So these are the 6 tools that I want to talk about today. I hope that I have been blessed by this video. Please don't hesitate to like this video and also to share with other people. Thank you, and please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.